Sports. We're here on our Wednesday night guest speaker. This week's guest speaker is Robin Sandos of VIP Training. She is a local coach here in Claremont. She's raced on the professional level a bunch of years and always finishes right up there at top of her age group now. She went back to the age group ranks these last couple of years, but we're so excited to have her here with us this evening, and she's going to talk for a few minutes about what she's got.
Hello, thank you for coming. Today we're going to discuss mental preparation for race day. So to give you a little background, a little bit more than what Kevin said, I've actually been racing in the sport for 30 years. I was a pro triathlete 2012 to 2015. And my family, it runs strong on my mother's side and my father's side, has anxiety. So one thing I have to cope with at every race is anxiety. So mental preparation for race day. So just like we train our bodies, we should train our minds. So what does this mean? Well, the first thing happens, you sign up for an event, whether it's a running event, a triathlon. Go directly to that race course. Read as much information as you can about it. Study it. Know the elevation, know the terrain, and then you have to practice. So simulate that race course in your training session. So if you don't have the luxury of actually training, if it's not a local event, simulate it in your training sessions. So I can use an example from my past. One of my big races was Ironman Lake Placid. That was in 2013, and I'm from Massachusetts, so wasn't able to train on that course. It's a very hilly course. And so one of the exercises I would do is 1 mile repeats up our local mountain. It was called Mount Wachusett. It was barely a mountain, but it had many roads that went up it. And there was a group of us would get together every evening, and we'd run up it and then walk down. Run up it, walk down. And I knew going into Lake Placid, any hill I came to was not going to be that difficult. So mentally, in the race, I would say, this isn't, the name of the road was Bolton Road. I'm like, this isn't Bolton Road, I've got this. Even after a long swim, after over a century ride, I felt confident on that marathon run. So, ways to practice your mental preparation during your training sessions. Well, this is something you want to do whether you're out swimming, biking, or running. Actually mentally put yourself out on that course. Visualize yourself doing the course while you're actually training. And it comes to pay off come race day, because believe it or not, it's going to kind of feel like you've already done that race. So the next thing, practice mental preparation while stretching. So a lot of people don't stretch. So, okay, everyone's got a busy life, they've got full-time jobs, they've got family, and what they're trying to train, and now you want them to stretch. It's one of the most important things for adult athletes to do, and it helps prevent injury, helps with your mobility, helps you be a more efficient athlete. So, 2 things you can do while stretching. Stretching, 1. Second thing, mentally visualize that race that you signed up for, that you have coming up. See yourself going through each part of it. See yourself finishing the hardest parts, and then see yourself crossing that finish line. So next is get to your races early. So I see this almost in every race I enter. So 5 minutes, transitions, clothing, and all these people are entering. So you've put in the time training. You've probably invested a decent amount of money in your equipment, in the said entry fee to whatever event. Don't be one of those people that gets there 5 minutes before the gun goes off. Give yourself time to mentally prepare for your race. So I get there the minute transition opens. I'm probably one of the first ones in transition line waiting for them to open. So what does this allow you to do? Well, first of all, you get everything set for your race. Everything is in line, that's set. Second, what you should do, and it's also mental preparation, but preparation for your race, get a good warm-up in. So a lot of athletes overlook this, and they think, oh, I'm going to start the race, that's going to be my warm-up. It's not a good mental aspect, it's not a good racing aspect. Get that warm-up in, get your stretching in, and then give yourself 10 minutes. So 10 minutes to yourself where you're going to go off to the side. I usually do this by the swim start. I'll put on headphones and listen to some motivational music. Visualize that race from beginning to end, especially any area where you think it's going to be difficult, any like challenging part of the course, whether it's maybe the steepest climb in the race. See yourself finishing it and finishing it good, and then see yourself crossing that finish line and feeling good when you cross that finish line. So the next aspect is something I actually got from watching a YouTube video of Mark Allen. So for anyone who doesn't know who Mark Allen is, he's a 6-time Ironman world champion, and he's also a coach now. So there's a YouTube video, there's 2 links on those flyers that were handed out, and I suggest if you have the time to watch them. One is a short one is about 40 minutes, but really good material in there. One thing he touches on is how to quiet your mind during a race. So what does quiet your mind mean? It means just that. You want to cancel out all that outside noise, whether it's because you have a full-time job in your family, whether it's, oh, I got to take the kids here, oh, I forgot to do this for work. When you're racing and you have to practice this training, so you have to practice quieting your mind when you train, give that time to yourself. So try not to think of all those other aspects in your life. Give that time to yourself, to your fitness. So something else with quieting your mind. So don't allow negative thoughts in. So it's so easy in a lot of our races. We're going to have aches and pains. We're going to feel horrible at times. We're going to have blisters, toenails falling off. It can be brutal. But if you concentrate on what's bothering you, and you concentrate on that negativity, it's going to produce a negative result. So what you want to do is you recognize it, block it out, quiet your mind, take a deep breath in, exhale, and just focus on whatever event you're doing. So what do I mean by that? Focus on your form. So if it's running, you want to really just focus, okay, are my shoulders tight? Maybe I gotta drop my arms. How are my hands? Are they clenched? How's my stride? Just focus on 1 mile at a time. How can I get the best way to the finish line? Keeping a quiet mind, focusing on my form, on me, and doing my best. So with all those aspects in place, hopefully when you go into your next race, you apply them, practice it now in training. When you go out for the run this evening, something's starting to hurt you, or oh my God, the kids, or I got dinner tonight. Just say to yourself, I deserve this time for me. Quiet your mind and focus on your form. And then come race day, it's a lot easier to implement that and have it work and be successful. So any questions? No?
Very good.
All right,
Thank you.
guys, have a good night tonight.
Thank you so much, Robin. That was great information. It's something that, we've been racing for a long time, and it's just something that you have to remember to do. You have to remember to practice it. Even if you're like, oh, I've already done that race before, I've got this or whatever, you still have to keep on the top of it, I think, and still practice and practice, what the race is going to be, and so you're not lackadaisical and like get to the race, oh, whoops, I didn't do everything that I did the time before, and so it's not as good a result. So, yeah, very good. All right, so what do we have tonight? What are we running? What are we...
We're going to do the 1 mile loop here by the store. What's up? The 1 mile loop takes us from out in front of the store here, and we're going to be going down Montrose, making a right-hand turn on Lake, and it's going to go 1 block behind to where